Okay, so we've managed to get the contents of the discussion table appearing, the posting table, sorry, appearing in our page. And that is to say, we've got this data bound control populated. However, the other thing we need to do, the two other things we still need to do, we need to show the paper itself about which the users are commenting, which needs to appear here. Okay, and finally, we have the ability of the user to post back to the discussion as well. So first of all, let us think about how we're going to do this. Probably the easiest way, in fact, is to put in a few labels here, which we will fill with text. Okay, when in the code. So let us kind of turn through the toolbox. And let's just hide the Solution Explorer a little for the moment. And what we're going to do is we're going to throw in some labels. So we're going to have, there's the author. It's going to be, we'll put in a label for that. We'll put in a label for the title. And we'll put in another label for the abstract. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to name them. So I right click and choose properties. And I'm going to call this, we'll call this LBL author. Okay, and then I'm going to call the other one at the side here, if I can find it. There's the second one. I'll call that one LBL title, and I'm going to call the third one, is my LBL abstract. Okay, so that's given me the three labels. Okay, so now I've got those in place. What I can do is change the SQL a little to be able to populate those labels. So we get there, it says discussion.aspx. Let's go into the VB part, hide the toolbar. Now you see, everything I need to be able to populate those things are actually in this first three lines. I've got the paper, now I've got the OLEDB connection. Okay, I'll need to create another set of another kind of SQL string and another DB command object. So I'm just going to copy and paste that, but I'm going to obviously have to change their names. So let's go like relevant paper str. Okay, I'm going to put paper DB command, paper DB command, and I'll put paper DB read. Okay, so that'll get all that sorted out. Now, in the case of the paper, if we look in Access, essentially we're going to be reading from the papers table. We don't need to kind of put anything. Any stuff which is going to be linked. I mean, we need to have the author, the title, and the abstract. Okay, those are the only three things we need, and we're going to get them from the ID. But the ID is passed to the paper on page load. So what we have to do is select. I'll just say star, even though we're only going to be using three. From let me just remember the name. It selects star from papers. Okay. Select star from papers where ID equals @ID. Okay. Paper DB command is going to be created from the relevant paper str on the OLEDB con. Paper DB command parameters ID paper ID. That's exactly what we want. Okay. Paper DB read execute reader, and now then we now just fill that table up. So we say if paper DB read dot has rows. Wait a minute, sorry, there's a little kind of error there. So if okay, so if paper DB command has rows, I think that it's not working that. So if paper DB read has rows, okay, it is working now. Okay, if paper DB read, then paper dbread.read. Okay, and then all we do now is just fill up those labels. So something like LBL author dot text equals paper db read open bracket quote. Let me remember the name of the field. Author with a capital A. Okay, so author. Okay, LBL title dot text equals paper db read open bracket quote title. Okay, and finally LBL abstract dot text equals paper db read open bracket abstract. Okay, so that's those fields populated now. So that should be done. At the end of that, probably it's a good idea to close down paper db read dot close. Okay, and paper db cmd dot well, we could typically write a dispose at that point. Okay, so that should deal with getting the paper appearing in the page. So let's go in. Let's just start off with the login page to make sure we don't have any problems, because we have to get to this page by having put in an ID first. Although I suppose I should write the error handler string, which would deal with the paper having been arrived at without an ID being passed to it. But again, these things would take too much time, so I'm going to simply open up the login page, and then we're going to go via mobilestandards.aspx. Okay, so first time it's being run, so it's going to be a little tiny bit slow. As soon as it comes up, I will log in, and hopefully we will see the paper and the comments underneath. Of course, I haven't done any styling yet to the table. Probably might be a good idea to style it according to the CSS that is used for mobilestandards.aspx as well. But let's see, so here's Mark Weezer. Let's click on this one, discuss. Okay, so now we have it. Okay, so again, you see this is not particularly elegant. Author, Mark Weezer, 21st century. Then it's got the paper, and then it's got the discussion. Okay, and underneath here it's got the text. So as you see, yes, there are some visual things that do need to be changed here, but as you see, it's all working. I have the paper at the top, I have 2 comments about it, and I have my ability to post comments at the bottom, which is not yet implemented. Okay, so this part is now done. Let's just see if if it works for other papers as well. Okay, yes, it does. So I wonder if there's any kind of issues where there is no kind of discussion. No, there is no problem with if there's no discussion. So yes, so it's all working fine now. And the final thing we need to add is the ability for the user to post, and maybe we need to do just a little bit of CSS work to make it all look a little bit nicer.